How's your English? Is it okay? Yeah?
Any problems, because very good.
Yeah, good.
Good.
Is it, sorry,
No.
is it very, do you have to study a lot of grammar?
Yes.
Yeah?
In my opinion, it's a very problem.
It's a problem. Yeah, me too. Sorry, what was the question again? Well, yeah, from, you know, yeah, when they're little, it's good because they understand, they can catch things like pronunciation, intonation, which is good, but of course they need somebody who can speak properly, otherwise it's a waste of time really. They need to have a good linguistic model to imitate. And for example, a story that, thank you. Do you want to take that?
No.
Are you sure? You can have some. I'll take a sip. When I was little, my father's from Galicia, but we lived in London. So I went to an English school, and when I came home, I spoke in Spanish to my parents. And when I came from school, from the English school, I said to my daddy, "Papá, ya sé hablar inglés." And I said, "Ah." And he said, "Ah, muy bien, sí, ya sabes hablar inglés." And the next day, I said, "Papá, ya sé hablar inglés." Please? Me decía, muy bien. And like that, until I got to say, "Can I have some water, please?" And that is a very good example of how children learn English. First, they learn the intonation patterns, and then they start putting in words. Yeah? And it's the natural way to learn. And I find that my children at school learn like this as well, imitating. Oh, when I say, "Oh no," they imitate. "Oh no," and they, "Thank you." And that's a way to learn.
What teaching strategies do you use in class? Classroom?
In class, yeah, in the classroom. Well, basically, I try to do interesting things for the children, because children are not so interested on learning the language, but in what they're doing. So if they like what they're doing, then they'll learn the language. So for instance, I can tell you what we're doing now. Now we just finished a project with the 7 and 8-year-olds called Making Things with Boxes. So we got a lot of boxes, and I said, "What would you make with a box?" And they had to think, "Oh, well, I'll make a mirror. I'll make an ice tray. I'll make a car. I'll make a house." And then they transformed the boxes using all different material, moving around in class, always speaking English and using it. "Can I have some scissors? Come on." And and you're using colours, but they're using English while they do something they like. While they do something they like.
It's a perfect strategy.
Oh, thank you very much. You're welcome to come whenever you want, Alex. You're welcome to come. And for example, an interesting thing that happened with this project was that a boy, Andrea, decided to make with a box of chocolates, where the chocolates come, they have like some shapes, different shapes. So he decided to make that into an ice tray. So of course that was very interesting, because we had to pour water and put it into the freezer in the teacher's staff room. And we observed a physical, it was an experiment, an experience, how water changes to form ice, and then how ice melts into water again. So that's beautiful, and they won't forget that. You know, they won't forget that. And also with movement, today we will do move like water, stop ice, freeze like ice. And now melt, 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 move like water, move like water. And they're learning English, but they're interested in things, in knowing about things, about knowing about the world and doing interesting things. So that's a bit the idea. That's the idea.
How does this present university teacher training influence everyday English teaching in elementary schools?
About like magisterium,
yes.
Yeah? Well, I suppose you learn a bit from everything, but you know, I studied translation and interpreting as well in Salamanca, and I found a big difference between my degree here and the one in Salamanca, to be honest. I didn't like this one very much. I think it was quite poor, although there was some interesting things. There were some interesting things, but I don't think I got a good theoretical basis, you know, for my job. I didn't. It's from experience, and as I say, you tend to repeat what you lived. And I think that's, you know, and then what you read, and so on, and to sit down and to reflect. But some things were interesting, you know. Some things were interesting. But on the whole, I'm not happy at all with the, you know, with the degree here.
What's more important when you are teaching on foreign language, education laws or teaching methods? Why?
Well, that's a heavy question.
Yes.
Yes.
It's the first question.
And I'm still learning, because this is my 4th year teaching, so I'm still in the process of learning. I speak a lot, but I still have a lot to learn. And laws are important because that's what your guidelines, you have to know the laws to know what you have to do. So you have to follow the rules. And the other one is teaching methods. And they're both 2 ingredients of the process. They're 2 important ingredients. But for me, what is important are the aims, objectives, what you want to achieve, and then what you do to achieve them. Activities, and of course methodology, how you do it. It's all important.